Welcome back to Locker Room Dads. Today's guest is a former teammate of mine who is the epitome of Jupe life. He is an amazing father and kicker. Please welcome Cody Parkey to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me, boys.
Hey, welcome on.
So we're going to jump right into this about dad life. So you're dad to baby boy Easton, and you have a baby girl, Kennedy. But let's talk a little about the football journey. What a lot of people don't know, we actually grew up pretty close to one another. I was in West Palm Beach, Wellington area. You were in Jupiter. Did you start playing soccer and then make the transition to football in high school like I did?
Yep. So, I played soccer pretty much my whole life, and I feel like I played just about every sport there was. The only sport I had never played was lacrosse. Interestingly, I feel like it wasn't popular until I got to high school. But then, in middle school, Pop Warner football, kicking, like they needed a kicker, and I could kick it pretty far, and the extra points were worth 2 points because no one could really do it. So my dad set aside time. He's like, "Yo, we could be good at this." So my older brother did it, I did it, so it was like a family affair. And anyway, so I just kind of stuck with it, and then ended up being pretty good at it, and then we were rolling from there. But once I started getting some scholarships, he nixed soccer. My dad nixed soccer pretty quick. He's like, "Yeah, we're doing this football thing." It's like, "All right, deal."
What was pretty cool was that his brother actually played on the same team as him at Jupiter High School.
Oh, that is really cool.
Yeah. Doug did all the punting though, right? And then you did all the field goals at one point?
Well, it was actually the opposite. He was the kicker and I was the punter, and then we kind of just switched. We both I could have gone to a different school or vice versa, but we both kind of just wanted to kick up for the same school. So we just switched off. Like if I kicked one, he'd kick the next. And then I was a better punter, so I ended up punting, but I wasn't very good at it. I was just our best option.
So was he holding? No, actually, because when you were the kicker, he wouldn't be the holder for you. So you probably
the only time. Correct. He did end up holding a few field goals for me when the quarterback got hurt or something. I think versus Pahokee one time, our coach was like, our holder was down. He's like, "One of you guys hold?" And I was like, "I can't hold." And Doug's like, "I got it." And I think he held it, and I stroked like a 37-yarder or something like that. So we were pretty proud of that moment.
Did you guys have like a really cool brother handshake after you guys made field goals?
We should have, man. We weren't that cool. The coolest thing we did was go to the Wendy's right by the high school and stock up with chicken nuggets and put them in the kicking bag and just eat nuggets while everyone else was actually practicing.
You're giving us a bad name, Code.
Yeah, it was a problem.
It's taking it easy.
No, we were grinding out there, Pat.
But we're in similar walks of life. We both play at the professional level. We had our first kid around the same time. I guess I want to ask you, what was your first initial thoughts on being a dad? Were you ready for it? Were you really nervous? I know Colleen probably read every book. She's really prepared. So I didn't know how you guys were doing that.
Yeah, I remember getting all these books from as soon as you tell the insurance you become a father, you get 4 books and all this stuff. Got books from a lot of people. And I remember reading one, it's, we were in COVID towards the end. And so I was like, yeah, I might as well crack one of these open. And basically you read through the whole book and it's tells you that there's no book that can tell you how to be a father. I'm like, I read the whole book for you to tell me that. I feel like that's what all of them said. So I don't know, the girls are actually growing the babies, but as guys, I feel like, at least me, it didn't hit me until it was we were in the hospital and I was like, in 20 minutes, I'm going to be holding my son. Holy crap. And then he came out and I got to cut the umbilical cord. And I remember I was like, "Can I mess this up?" And the nurse was like, "No, just and it took me 3 hacks at it. I was surprised how thick it was. And and then once we were holding them, I was like, "Man, this is nuts. This is nuts." It's a surreal feeling.
Yeah, no, it is. It's funny you brought that up about the umbilical cord because Josh had a similar experience that he could probably talk about.
Oh, yeah. So my wife got on me so hard about the umbilical cord. I was ready to crack that thing open. I got the scissors and then they just bounced right back. And I was like, "Are you kidding me now? I already know I'm in trouble." And they're looking at me like, "No, it happens to everyone." And I was like, "That's BS. There's no way that happens to everyone." And they're like, "No, seriously. It's you got to chew through it."
Yeah,
it's probably not easy.
Yeah,
it makes sense. That's how they're living, I guess, for 9 months. But I was like, man, it took me 3 hacks, and obviously the second kid, I was like, I know I can't screw this up, and I just went in there and got it good.
So you were ready for it at that point?
Oh yeah, I was a vet at that point.
Was Colleen's pregnancy straightforward for 1 and 2, or did you guys have any hiccups during the pregnancy?
It was well, with Easton we had a few hiccups, nothing crazy, just like when you get those I don't, it's not the ultrasound where they check all the limbs and the heartbeats and the whatever. I think on one of them, one of our doctors told us that he couldn't see one of the chambers of the heart, so he sent us to a specialist, and the specialist looked at him for like 10 seconds, and he was like, he's good, I can see it. But like for that 24-hour period where we're like, what the heck, it's just like, I felt like we were like freaking out over nothing, but at the same time, like we're like, what could we do? So stuff like that. But like with Kennedy, it was pretty easy, to be honest. And she is like been just like sweetest little angel too, great sleeper and stuff like that. So she's been my daddy's little girl for sure.
Oh man, yeah. Josh has got a little girl too, so you're gonna have to talk us through being a boy dad.
Yeah, we have no experience on it, and we're interested to hear about it.
All right, yeah. It's Kennedy's still pretty young, but at least so far, Easton, when we're with our friends that are have daughters that are similar age, I feel like they're like, man, Easton, he's got a lot of energy. I'm like, yeah, he doesn't stop.
That's when you just bring him to the driving range.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I go to the driving range. I get him some M&Ms from the locker room, some pretzels, and then he just sits in the cart for like 20 minutes, and then eventually he finds the bunker, and then he just runs all through the bunker, and then I'm raking after him, and it's good times though.
Well, speaking about essentials, did you have to have any essential snack like pillow, robe, whatever it was in the hospital for Colleen? Is there one thing that like sticks out in your mind that like she had to have, or people were like, no, you need to have this for your first?
For her, she brought her pillow. And then we were told to bring like some stuff like shower sandals, because someone told us the shower was slippery, and for me it's a hoodie because the hospital's freezing.
Yeah.
So the hoodie was essential for me. Some snacks, and so we brought obviously like for the baby pacifiers, and like it's a shusher. And that was like an essential for us. So like with the second one, we were like, we have to bring the shusher. All the nurses are like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. Like, and my grandpa's a pediatrician, and he's still amazed. Like he's in his 80s now, but he's amazed that they make stuff like that now. He's like, that wasn't that wasn't a thing.
Now.
yeah, just use your mouth. And I was like, no, this is great. Like it does it for you. So those were the essentials for sure.
Yeah, Josh has an interesting essential that he had. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So years ago, prior to deciding we were going to have a kid, I collect scotch. And so I bought this really rare bottle of Bruichladdich. And I told my wife, like, the only reason I'm buying this is to crack it open with family when we have our first kid. And I held it for a couple of years. And then COVID hit, and we're going to the hospital. And I'm like, I have nobody to crack this open with. Screw it. I'm bringing it with me. Like, I don't care. I'm going to have a glass myself. And I just remember the nurse walking in the room going, hey, are you guys all right? And I'm kicked back. I got my glass in my hand. And she's like, all right. But
you guys are good.
I was like, I was committed to the bit at that point. I couldn't pass on bringing that.
I love it, man. I love it. Have you been to Scotland and done some Scotch stuff?
I've been to Scotland. I haven't done the tours, but it's a beautiful place.
I went to Scotland a few years ago, off topic, but we went to Glenkenshie and did a little Scotch tasting tour there. Put some hair on my chest for sure. That stuff's illegal. Gosh.
It's a little different.
Yeah.
Would you say that there's a huge jump from 1 to 2 kids?
Yeah. We have this discussion all the time when people ask us that. We're like, we don't know if Kennedy's just that much chiller than Easton, or if we just I felt like with the first kid, you feel like you have to give them attention 24/7, and do all that. And, like first 3 or 4 months, they really don't do anything. Yeah. So, so it's just kind of like, is she easier, or do we know what we're doing now? So I think it's a little bit of both, to be honest, but I definitely think like we know what we're doing. Like I don't always have to be like, if she's content with like doing this little piano thing she kicks, she's content with that for 10 minutes, and I can, unload the dishwasher or whatever. then let's go. But it's definitely a game changer because I mean, like today, Colleen took Kennedy for like lunch with her grandma and whatever, and then I had Easton. So Easton took a nap, got a workout in. Sometimes I have both, and I got to get on the Peloton for 20 minutes because that's my only time of the day I have to work out. So it's definitely different in the sense of like, all right, you got Easton, I got Kennedy, and then, we'll meet up later type of thing. So man-to-man defense, and she's not even walking yet, or obviously anything. She's only 4 months old. So that'll definitely make things interesting.
Oh, for sure. I feel like when I was younger, I would always look at the older guys and they would always get like the most efficient workout in. And I was like, man, they really know how to prioritize their time in the weight room. But then I'm like, they probably had kids. You know what I mean? Like, you can't be in the weight room like screwing around for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, like talking in between sets. But you're good at that. I mean, we call him CrossFit Cody. Cody likes to work out probably like 25, 30-minute, great sweat sesh. So you're probably adapting well to that,
I'm a king of the superset for sure. Definitely got to get that in. Now I'm just like, all right, freaking get on the Peloton for 20 minutes and get 10 minutes of biceps. That's all you need. What else do you need?
Are you doing the run or the bike?
I had the tread for a while, and they had that recall on it with the kid stuff. I don't know if you saw. So I got a bike
for sure.
Be safe, yeah. And so I got a bike now, which I find it a lot more. I guess it's harder for me to motivate myself to get on the tread and run, 3-4 miles, but it's easy to sit down on a bike and just crank out a little.
Do you watch like a TV show or anything, or is that like you time? You just like try to like not have any distraction.
Well, I do that sometimes, but usually I'm taking a class where like, the girls are the instructors are yelling at me, and I'm trying to compete with the guys, and I think I'm in decent shape, and I'm getting smoked by some of these like. Guys with username like soccer mom 29 like is killing me, and I'm like, what the heck?
What if they're dudes just like using their wife's Peloton?
Yeah,
I always think about that.
Yeah, it's like when I'm like trying to catch Lance Armstrong or something.
He's just going away like crazy.
Yeah, I'm like, gosh.
So I guess what was the process like for you guys naming the kids? Did you guys have to look at a list, or did you guys pretty much know what you were going to call them?
Oh man. So with Easton, we thought we had a couple names, and then we just kept going back and forth. And then we both, I think Colleen follows some girl on like Instagram, and she was like, "Oh, their son's name's Easton," and I was like, "You know what? I really like that name. We'll use it down the road." And then we got to thinking, we're like, "Man, like if one of our kids has a kid and names him Easton, and we missed out on that opportunity, I'm gonna be not happy." Right. So we just went for it. We named him Easton, and like. Our grandparents at first were like, Ethan? Like, what do you mean? Easton's a pretty unique name. And they were like, I think they're warmed up to it now. We call him E for the most part. But so we went with that. And then the girl's name, every week we had a new one up until literally like I was set on Kennedy like the last week, and Colleen had a few that she was. So when Kennedy was born, I'm holding her, and the lady's like, what do you want me to put on her birth certificate or whatever? And Colleen's like, we're not sure yet. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, isn't it going to be Kennedy? And she's like, I don't want to commit to that yet. Give me a few hours. I was like, oh my gosh. So to answer that question, we really didn't even know when the baby was born, like what her name was going to be. But, we're obviously happy now we named her Kennedy.
I guess that's okay though. I mean, I'm sure there are a lot of dads that find themselves in that position where it's like, they don't know, they don't have the name decided upon.
Yeah.
I guess it's okay not to know in there.
Well, we can have all the opinions we want.
Yeah. That's right. We don't have the final say.
No.
We didn't do any of the work to help. So whatever, at the end of the day, a lot of names we didn't agree on. So, and I'm sure you guys probably did the same thing, but if you find two that you actually agree on, you're like, all right, let's, I was writing them down on a piece of paper. I was saying them out loud. I was using my strict voice, like, try it out, I was like, all right, that sounds good. I'm at the park. I'm yelling at them with that tone. I'm good.
Yeah.
It's actually smart you did that.
Yeah. You got to give it a test run, right?
Come on.
I had a tough time because like we went with Billy for our daughter, and I'll be honest, like at first I didn't like the name, and I'm just being flat out honest. I didn't like it. And then the more I started saying it and everything, I was like, I actually really love this name. And it was like an homage to my wife's grandfather, whose name was Bellagio, and he went by Billy when he came over. So it was really cool. But it was like a tough time for me to get to that point, and I felt terrible because my wife was dead set on this name, and I was like, I know I'm not changing that. I can't change it, but I'm happy like I came around because I actually love the name a lot. And now it's like going through, like, we're gonna try for another kid. Now she's going through boy names, and every day it's like, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? And you're like, I don't know.
You still have the girl name list, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we got that one.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we have a third. Not anytime soon, but if we have a third, we don't know what the name will be. So that'll be another mystery. What about you, Pat? You got a list? If you have another one?
Yeah. So Shelbs is actually like 16 weeks pregnant.
Oh, dude, congrats!
Yeah. So breaking news. No. Yeah. So we're probably gonna wait to find out the sex also.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Did you do that with the first one?
Go ahead. What's that?
Did you do that with the first one too?
Yeah, we waited.
Yeah, wow. You guys are.
I don't know how he did it.
Yeah. Now that I have a boy and a girl, I'll wait for the third one. Now that I have boy and girl stuff, but that was like my thing with Colleen. I was like, yeah, we can wait, but like, man, like we don't have any boy or girl stuff. Or no, I don't know. Eventually, we both like were too eager and we needed to see it like immediately. But everyone that does it, I'm like, man, you guys have way more patience than me.
I think she dabbles with the idea now because she has to go to the next doctor appointment this week. And she's like, well, if she slips up, like, I'd be okay with that. I'm like, you can't, like, you have to know we're not, like, we're all in or we're not. So,
yeah, I know. And they're probably still not allowing you to go in, right?
Yeah, so they're kind of weird with it, but we kind of knew the people in Chicago. I don't know if you use the same doctor that everyone was using up there.
We didn't have anybody. We weren't pregnant up there, so we didn't have.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, we didn't get pregnant until we were back here in Jupiter, so we never used anybody up there. But
I feel like the years just blend together.
Yeah, I can't. I know I wasn't allowed to go in with my wife. We were going to the place near Jupiter Med, and they wouldn't let us in. So I was like, whatever.
How crazy is that?
It was crazy. The day they did the heartbeat thing, my wife actually put record on her phone just so I could hear it. So that was kind of cool.
That is cool. Yeah, I
don't want to miss that.
Well, yeah,
the whole process is just mind blowing to me.
It is. I mean, like,
I still don't understand it.
I know you can't feel.
I get the gist of it, but I don't understand the physical process. Like, it's just mind blowing.
So you guys, with your first kid, was during COVID, obviously too, and you probably they had to sleep in the bed with you right next to you, right? They weren't allowed to leave at night,
right?
Correct.
What do you mean?
Like they were in the bassinet, but they couldn't leave. Like, with my second child, Kennedy, the rules were a little looser. So at night, the nurses are like, "Hey, do you guys want to get a couple hours of sleep? I'll take the baby out in the hallway and we'll take care of it for you." And we were like, "Yes." And with Easton, that wasn't even an option because we weren't even allowed to leave the room.
Yeah, that's how it was for me.
Yeah, same. Chicago was pretty locked down.
That was a game changer. That's right. You had your kid in Chicago. That's right.
Yeah. It was weird because you think we've talked about before on the pod too. Like, you think that the delivery day is going to be the whole family's there and whatever.
Yeah.
And then when you have a kid during COVID, there's like nobody there. You can't go anywhere. You can't leave.
No, it's a good and a bad thing though. It's a great connection between you and your wife. Mm-hmm. It's just you two. Yeah. I can imagine like when everyone's in the room, like crazy madness. It'd be madness.
Yeah. We kind of talked about that too. We're like, man, we're kind of glad that it's only us two, because then like 10 people storm in there, that's a lot. And and so also I don't know, when we were having Easton, the first, when Colin's water broke, I panicked. I called the doctor. I was like, "Yo, we'll be in there. We'll be in 10 minutes." And he calls me back. He's like, "No, dude, you're good. You got blah blah blah. I come in in the morning." And I was like, "What?" Because you see all these movies and they're like rushing the hospital and stuff. So that was definitely different for me, because I was like, "No, doc, like this baby's coming out. Like, I promise you, it's not coming out anytime soon." So I don't know if you guys have similar stories, but I was like in panic mode the first time. I was like, "Shoot, man, we got to get to the hospital fast." And he shut that down quick. He's like, "No, just get a good night's sleep, see you in the morning." I was like, "Oh, all right."
I wonder if it changes with number 2. They're like, "Oh, okay, you might want to make your way to the hospital," but they say number 1, it actually is a longer process.
Yeah. I don't know. We had did a C-section, and Kennedy didn't didn't even water didn't break or anything. It was pretty uneventful, to be honest. It just kind of like she never did anything, and all of a sudden it was like, all right, we're just gonna take her out. All right.
That's the best though. Straightforward. Everyone was healthy.
Yeah, definitely.
So this leads into my next question. So me and Josh both have girls. Was there at all any talks about the circumcision of Easton, or was that like just off the bat? Like Colleen was like, "Yes, he's getting circumcised," or she's like, "I don't even know." Like, you handle it, Cody.
I don't even think we talked about it, Pat. It was just like an automatic. I think it wasn't like, hey, are we gonna circumcise Easton? It was just kind of like when the doctor came in, it was like, do you want to do circumcision? I was like, yep. So it wasn't even discussed. I don't even think. We were both like, yeah, he's doing it. But it is like, I guess usually the dad is allowed to go in there and watch, which like might be kind of traumatizing. But with COVID, I couldn't even do that. It just came back, and it's an interesting. You gotta put like gauze on it for a couple weeks, and it's unique. So that was a cool experience. And then with Kennedy, obviously I didn't have to do that, so that was a little easier. Easton, I don't know if you guys got peed on with the girls, but he peed on us a handful of times.
Yeah, that's what I hear. It's probably the biggest jump.
Once.
You did?
Yeah.
Billy?
Yeah. I was picking her up, change her. Decided it's time to pee again.
Straight waterfall.
Yeah. I was soaked too.
Oh, you get the boys give you the freaking like I feel like the AC unit is right where we change him, and like he gets a cold breeze on there, and he just lets it go.
Let her rip.
He's like, let's go, baby.
Yeah, those walls are covered in pee, I'm sure.
Aren't you supposed to cover it? Like they said,
yeah,
like, the diaper.
But then I'd cover it. There's a thing called the PPTP or something. I'd cover it, and then it would get all over him. So then I have to change him, and it's easier if he just pees on me. At least all I have to do is like put on a new shirt or something,
Yes.
It's hard. So I realized I wasn't a fan of the PPTP or whatever it's called.
See, we don't have any experience with that.
We don't.
That's all news to us.
I'm just amazed at all the gadgets that are out there.
There's something for everything, honestly.
There is.
There was one for like cream for their butts, and it's like a little spatula.
No.
Yeah, I got that.
Stop.
Yeah, you're just. That's all it is.
Can't use the old fingers anymore.
No, we're past that.
Oh my gosh.
We have the same thing.
We talked about the snoo at one point. That's another crazy gadget. I mean, the fact that it rocks your kid when they cry. There's something for everything.
We have that one.
You got it?
Yeah. I mean, we've never done a kid without it. But man, both our kids slept really good, so I'm gonna keep using it.
Yeah, I'm a big advocate of the snoo. They make a great product.
Yes.
The one thing we just got into actually is baby proofing our house. So Billy is walking everywhere now, actually running. And she climbed the stairs. So stairs now. And then I did the cabinets yesterday.
Nice. We don't have stairs in our house, which is nice, but we got all the cabinets done too. And you even have options of what you want to do with that. Do you want the claws? Do you want the magnets? I was like, my gosh, like. And then I don't know if you have the door handles. We have to use those little door handle blockers. He was getting out of the house. Like we have an alarm system. Every time a door opens, it like has a charm. And I was like, oh, the door opened, and Colleen's right next to me. I'm like, oh crap!
He's making a move.
Did you almost have any close calls with Easton yet? Like, he fell off the changing table, or like, the dog is about to eat him.
He definitely like messes with the dogs a lot, and we get scared. Like when they're eating, he like goes up and like tries to wrestle them. We're like, dude, don't mess with them right now. So he's definitely like trying to climb on the couch and fallen before and stuff like that. Nothing crazy, but and we have a gate at my house, and the gate opens. He thinks it's like the coolest thing ever to just sprint to the road, and we got to go chase him down. But he's to the point where he gets on and off the couch obviously pretty easily, and we trust him to climb stuff. But for a while there, it's kind of like, all right, he made it on the couch. Does he know how to get off? Like, and man, yeah. I'm sure he has a chipped tooth here somewhere in his mouth. But
I'm not even going to talk about that. It actually just happened to Palmer. I feel terrible.
Oh,
In the tub, she's starting to move around, and I'm holding her, right?
Yeah.
And then I got a great grip, and she's so like it's slimy. Those kids are slimy, they're like salamanders. I'm like holding her shoulder, and I'm like, please don't fall. And I'm reaching for the towel, and of course she fell like small, like a very small fall. Like sure enough, cries. Shelby's like, "What's going on up there?" I'm like, "Nothing. It's handled up here. Don't worry about it." Go down. Sure enough, she's got like a little chip tooth. She's like, "Oh, nothing's wrong. You got it handled up there." I was like, "Okay. Oh, am I gonna get suspended from bath time now?" Like,
you're off duty. Hey,
I
just
felt
tell her
terrible.
they're not permanent. They'll get
They're
some.
not. They just fall out in 6 years, right?
yeah.
We'll get some fresh one.
She doesn't even have all of them right now. I mean, come on.
Pretty close, man. She's cutting teeth like crazy.
Yeah, that's the tough part. By the way, Houston had some rough nights cutting teeth.
Yeah,
And he was lots of TV time given to him during those whiny days.
For sure.
yeah. Get them occupied. Let them chew on something like one of those chewies you put in the fridge or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
puppy, a chewy.
Whatever they're
Yeah,
called. I don't
teething
know.
toy?
Yeah, the teething toy chewy. I don't know what you want to call it. Yeah, tug of war. We've got a tug of war rope.
Yeah.
So one thing Pat and I were talking about earlier was cravings that our wives had during pregnancy. So I want to know if your wife had some sort of craving. My wife was pickles.
Pickles,
Like
okay.
nonstop, just pickles.
Yeah, just straight up.
Like yeah, and that's she was eating them for like every meal.
All right. Well, it could be that's at least somewhat of a healthy craving. My wife, what did she crave? She craved. She would get cinnamon raisin bagels, and she'd make a peanut butter and jelly out of it. Yeah, and she doesn't eat cinnamon raisin bagels, and she doesn't eat peanut butter and jellies. So it's definitely, and she did that with both kids. It was like,
Okay, both kids.
and then sometimes she'd put like, do it with just butter on it or something, and she'd be like, it'd be like 10 o'clock at night. She's like, I need a bagel with butter on it right now. Yes, ma'am.
They were cravings.
Yeah. Yep. And then one time it was like, I was like on the way home from golf, and she's like, can you stop by Publix? I just want a piece of confetti cake or whatever. And I'm like, just a piece? She's like, yeah,
One single piece.
I need this. I was like, all right, I got you.
You walk in there. I just need one piece of confetti cake, please. I'm like, you're gonna have to make that, sir.
Yeah, and they dialed it up. Shoot. But when she gets one, I get one. Yeah, they actually have like slices of cake in there. It's pretty interesting.
What?
That's good to know for round 2.
That is mind blowing. I did not know that.
But I got 2 slices because I was obviously gonna have one.
Well, yeah, I mean, right?
What was Shelby craving?
I think like the first overall craving was pickles, and I went to Publix up the road here, and I came back with a pregnancy test. So I'm going through the express line with pickles and a pregnancy test, and the dude looks at me. I'm like, oh yeah, it's happening. I'm there. But now I think the cinnamon raisin thing, like I don't know what it is. She's doing the same deal.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm like, I was like trying to piece it together when Cody was. He's like, oh, but it happened with both kids. I'm like,
yeah.
Oh, maybe it's a boy. I'm like cinnamon raisin. Maybe that's something to do with a boy. And then you just disproved it. But
I know. I feel like you try to do that all the time though. Like I think Colin was more sick maybe with the girl than the boy. But so then like one of my friends' wife's pregnant, and he was like, oh, based off that in my research, it's definitely gonna be a girl. And then he just found out it's a boy. It's like, all right, how do you even tell?
Yeah, they always go, oh, it's showing higher. It's
whatever.
Okay.
What does that mean?
I was 99% sure Palmer was a boy. The technicians were like, well, if you believe in wives' tales, like it's a boy. And I went to the same technician. I was like, really? You had to do that? And she like laughed. And I was like, you guys get off on just messing with people's heads.
Oh, for sure.
They probably hate it because people like, oh, we don't want to know. And they're probably like, we hate you people. Like you are the people that we hate.
We did.
You make my job so much harder because there's probably like something on the fire. I was like, oh, don't tell the gender. You know what I mean?
So we found our gender out, but then Aaliyah also went on like Etsy or something or some website where they like tell you pay them and then they tell you. I don't remember what it was. But I was like, you really think this person who has never met you or seen your body at all has any freaking clue what this baby is? I mean, come on.
So is that how you did your gender reveal?
No, that was just assurance for the gender. We didn't have a gender reveal.
Yeah, we didn't do a party, but we went to the local bakery and said, "Hey, we just found out what we're having. But either put pink or blue frosting in a cupcake." And I was convinced Easton was a girl, and so I was wearing a pink shirt. Just got done golfing. I was like, it's definitely gonna be a girl. Like, and then we opened it up. It was blue, and I was like, oh man. Actually, with the second one, Pat, we went to dinner with. We were going to dinner with you at Lenora's, and we had like just found out it was a girl. And I don't think Colin and I told anybody for like a couple weeks after that, but we had just found out, and we did like the gender reveal. We just opened it in the car, like so boring. But second kid, I feel like that's just how
you're
it
already
goes.
there, man. You're a veteran dad.
Yeah,
like they always say, the second kid gets screwed, and sure enough,
I know.
Okay, girl.
Yeah.
Just kidding. But let's talk about your hobbies. Has your hobby game decreased because now you're a dad of 2?
Yes.
It's like, has the golf game suffered is the question.
Yeah. Oh man, huge hit. I went from no kids. I was 3 handicap to 1 kid up to a 5, and now I'm like 2 kids up to a 7. Like it's spiking to the point where I don't know if you know the Gen app is puts a soft cap on my handicap. They're like, yo, you're getting bad at a rapid rate, so we have to meet you at the 7, so you're not. I was like, jeez. So
you have to explain to them. Is it a bad column, you know?
Yeah, no, but I obviously really enjoy golfing. So, and Easton's finally at an age where I can like bring him and he'll sit in the cart and like he comes and he tries to hit the balls. So it's getting fun, and one of those deals where I think I hopefully get to play a little more. And hopefully he enjoys it. I don't want to force him to play golf, but I really hope he likes playing golf.
Yeah,
I guess you have to have a lull so you can like get Easton really good at golf before you have the 3rd.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
So the golf game doesn't suffer that much.
Get it back down.
And Kennedy, if she wants to play golf too, then I'm all for it. Let's go. Whole family fair.
There you go.
Jupe life, man. We raise them up here. Golfers
For days.
That's what Jupiter's about.
And then
I have a lot of hobbies, but mine was sim racing. I race online. I have like a whole racing sim rig, and as soon as Billy was born, I have done 1 race. And I was doing like weekly races. I've done 1 race online, and that's it now. So it's been over a year of not doing anything. So that really changed quick.
Yeah.
Now I understand why Facebook Marketplace exists. It's like from all the dads out there. I'm like, well, kite surfing's out the window. Well,
good deal on kite surfing equipment.
Next is you, man. Sim racing. That's what you're gonna do.
Geez. Yeah, you need to sell that desktop, whatever. With 2, it just gets worse, man. But you pick up new, like, and Easton. For a while, I'm sure you guys are at the age where you go to the beach, they eat sand, and they run in the. Easton's finally to the age where like he doesn't eat sand, and he's not actively trying to drown himself in the water. So it's actually fun to go to the beach. But as he's at a fun age to go to the beach, we got Kennedy, and she'll be eating the sand thing here soon. So
like I just went through this.
Yeah,
I know.
We're back to it. Come on,
like deja vu, man. The beach is, dude, that is a task. The umbrella, make sure they don't burn. You get a sunscreen.
4 trips. 4 trips from the car. You're getting mad cardio, going to the beach and back. And then, in the summer when that sand's hot, it's real hot.
What we got to do is create some piece of tech. Like we get a patent on something that helps dads go from the car to the beach or like the park.
You need like a drone.
Yes.
They probably make it, considering how specific some devices are. But if it's not made, we might need to make that.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I'll do some Googling after this. And see what we
Amazon probably has it. They already made it. It's on there.
Yeah, it's a prime deal.
It is.
Oh man, yeah. Easton plays with our Alexa, and like we had like something in our. We have like one of those little things you can touch, take pictures with the Alexa, and the other day, like there's like 20 things in our cart. And I was like, Coin, what do you need? Like, it was like, and we realized Easton would just press the buttons on the Alexa, adding stuff to the cart. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Luckily, you didn't check out, but
yeah,
it would have been an expensive day for me.
Seriously.
Note to self: keep an eye on the shopping cart.
Yeah, put a password on that thing.
Yeah, you gotta lock that thing up.
Baby proof it.
So you have 2 kids now. Is 3 something you guys are thinking about, or is that kind of, if it happens, it happens?
I think we both agree that we don't feel complete yet. So I think 3 is definitely probably going to happen, but we both agree that we don't want it to happen like as soon as, like, our kids are 15 months apart. So we definitely want to take a nice little like break in between. Not too long, but like enough to
not be pissed off when the next one eats sand.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. So I think the answer is yes. If God willing, we'll have 3. But right now we're just enjoying having 2 and doing that whole deal. So it's a lot of fun. You guys will like having 2. And I mean, at first you feel bad because you're not giving all your attention to your one daughter or son, but they get used to it, and then we'll tell you to give Kennedy a hug or a kiss, and he'll go in like give her a kiss, and it's the cutest thing ever.
Oh, it's cute.
That's cute.
That is. Yeah. Well, I guess this leads us to our last question.
My favorite spot.
It's called "Would You Rather." It's a "Would You Rather" segment. So we pondered on this question for you
for a bit.
Are you ready for it? Are you ready for it?
Wait.
Here we go. Would you rather participate in a training camp practice as a lineman for a week, or watch both of your kids by yourself for a week?
Oh my gosh.
We have the best training camp schedule. I mean, we kick a lot of repetitive motion, but yeah. I was like, Cody would appreciate this question.
I hate training camp as a kicker. So as a lineman,
bashing heads, man. Bashing heads, or you're bashing heads another way. just your head's going into a wall or to another human being watching the 2 kids for.
Yeah, imagine that. The sweat they have afterwards. They're losing like 8 to 10 pounds, chugging 6 Gatorades. I gain weight as a kicker during practice. I'm gonna go with watch 2 kids for a week, and that is a task in itself. But I want no part of batting heads.
I
Miles
do not blame
Garrett, Akeem Hicks.
Oh no, no sir.
Oh, thank you. So as I'm sure 2 kids. Final answer.
Unless you fake an injury. You go up there, you're like, hamstring.
You just that is like cheat code right there. I don't think it works like that.
I didn't think about that. I mean, they'll MRI me and be like, hey, dude, you're fine. I'll have to go back.
You're good to go. Get back out there.
Keep me on the table. You don't understand.
I know it's not showing up on that MRI.
I promise. What's waiting for me on the other side of this? 2 kids.
You don't understand.
Oh, man.
Hey, well, we appreciate your time, Code. Thank you for coming on Locker Room Dads. It's been a pleasure.
It's a blast, guys. Fun talking dad stuff with a couple dads. And you guys are the best, man. Appreciate you having me.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
See you, Code.
Peace.
Locker Room Dads is brought to you by Stormhouse Brewing. South Florida's best pint and bite is located in sunny North Palm Beach. Whether you're looking for a great craft beer, delicious food, or watching your favorite team, they're always brewing the perfect storm. And Coach First. Coach First is a fully integrated app that is designed for athletes and coaches alike. Whether you want to book your next training session or take your coaching to the next level, Coach First is the app for you. Find them on the App Store and sign up today.